What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're taking another look at the Dragonball Super trading card game, and today we're looking at promos and asking if they are, in fact, a little bit too good. But don't worry, I will explain all this, and this video, hopefully, is going to end with a fairly positive note. So one of the things about the Dragonball Super trading card game, even though it's not very old at the moment, it's got a lot of promotional cards. So one of the very first things released was a starter deck, which had a bunch of exclusive cards in them, 5 to be precise, although the really good exclusive card was the leader Son Goku the Soul Striker, which was, at least until the release of Cross Worlds, one of the best leaders in the game and did see a fair amount of success. The only way to get it, buy the starter deck. Now that's alright, the starter deck kind of came in and out of stock in a bunch of places, but it was alright, we could work with it. We then have a bunch of special packs where you get a few booster packs, 4 booster packs, and an exclusive promo card. Now, generally speaking, they were pretty much alright, until we got to the special pack from Cross Worlds, which had the Increasing Evil Masked Saiyan promo card, which is a really good card. It uses the overround mechanic. It allows you to put one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or less to their warp. It's a pretty good promo card. Now, unlike leaders, these general promo cards actually are often played as a 4 of, so you need 4 of this card. So you could basically buy 4 of the special pack sets. What is really good, and let's get some positivity rolling here, starter deck has a set number of cards. You know exactly what you're getting, but you only need 1 of the leader, and most of the other exclusive come as 4 ofs. Whereas a special pack set, you do need 4 of this promo, but you just get booster packs and this, so you can buy 4 of this pack, and it's really not the end of the world. That's quite nice. We then also have expansion sets. Now, expansion sets are very strange. As a player who came over from Pokemon, there really isn't any parallel here to what we have. It's a set where you just get 2 copies each of 7 promo cards and a deck box. Now, when they released expansion set 1, there were a couple of moderately playable cards. I've seen deck lists with a few of these in, but it's nothing particularly major, and this stayed in stock pretty nicely. It's not that hard to get hold of. If, however, you want the expansion set 2, that is a whole different ball game, ladies and gentlemen, because Time Patrol Trunks is one of the best cards we have. It is one of the most ubiquitous cards found in deck lists, and it is absolutely brilliant. It uses the overround mechanic, it's got a whole bunch of draw power, it's an exceptionally good card that sees a huge amount of play. Problem is, if you want to get a playset of this, you need to buy 2 of the expansion sets, and ladies and gentlemen, these are not very easy to get hold of at all. The set retails for $17, and you get a foil and a non-foil of each in the expansion set. You will generally pay about $15 for a foil version of Time Patrol Trunks, which is pretty much as the entire set costs. Then you build in Masked Saiyan the Mysterious Warrior, which has seen a fair amount of play in a bunch of decks, and most of the other cards, Mirror from the Darkness, Time Ruler Tower. They're not amazing cards that see play in every deck, but they pop up in deck lists here and there, and you have a weird situation where you've got these promo cards that in theory you can just walk into a shop and buy, if you can ever find it in stock. I mean, to put it in context, in the UK it was released on Friday, March the 23rd, just gone, and if you didn't find somewhere to pre-order it quickly, it's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Last I checked, unless there's been a restock somewhere, you can't just go and buy expansion set 2. So with the starter decks, the special packs and the expansion sets, we basically have a situation where if you can find it in stock, you can find these promo cards very easily. Anyone can, in theory, just walk into a shop and buy them. They're easy to find, if you can find them. And we've seen similar things in the Pokemon trading card game, with things like Zoroark GX being available in its own promo box. Then we have the draft boxes. Now, the draft boxes are very strange, because in the draft boxes you get 4 copies of 1 new leader, and you either have none of them or you have 4 of them. Now, I think there's at least an argument that a draft box should have one of each leader in, so you can guarantee having all of them. That's not how they work. The issue is that Bionic Strike Mecha Freezer, arguably the very best leader in the game, certainly the one that's seen the most success lately, this is only available in the draft box. And as it lowers the cost of using extra cards at the cost of using some of your life, it is in a great situation where if you get the draft box and you pull 4 of them, wonderful. If you don't get the draft box and draw 4 of them, that's very bad. Now, if you live in the US, you can pick this up for a few dollars, but if you live in the UK, good luck for finding one for less than £10, about $15. It is extremely difficult to do. But the coolest promos, and potentially the biggest issues, is with the shop promos. Now, the thing about the shop promos are, they are, in theory, amazing. Because what I love about them is, you go to a shop tournament, and, assuming they're in stock, you get a free promo card. It's a blind pack with one of 8 different promos, and every time you go to a shop tournament, you get a promo pack. If it's in stock, which a lot of the time I've tried, they haven't been, but it's a new game, we will get there. It was only actually launched in January in the UK, let's give them some time. And I'm very torn on my opinion of these. On the one hand, go to a shop tournament, get a promo card, they might be really good, yay! On the other hand, a lot of these cards are good, and you need 4 of them in your deck. And that's a little bit of an issue. So taking the second lot of shop tournament promos as an example, we've got Chilling Terror Android 17. Great promo card, goes into Android deck, stop your opponent drawing cards when they awaken their leader. Sounds like a lot of fun, but you would struggle to find it for about $17. That's about the lower end of what you'll pay for it. So you want a playset of these and you're talking $68. Well, that's a little bit upsetting, but that's not actually the best promo card you can get. Determined Super Saiyan Son Gohan, for instance, is even better. It's a better card that gets played in a whole bunch of green decks. You often see it side decked. And if you want to buy a copy of that, then you're going to have to put your hand in your pocket to the tune of $30. More if you want the foil version, but we're focusing on the non-foil version for now. Which means if you want a playset of these, it's $120. And this is something I've found as I'm starting to get into this game. I love the fact that I can go and buy a starter deck, and oh look, I've got a really good leader straight away. I love the fact that I can go and buy this expansion set, and it's full of really playable cards that I can just walk in, I can buy it, and I know I'm getting really good cards. I like the fact that I can go to a shop tournament, and I might get a really good promo card for the couple of quid that I pay in order to enter the tournament. But it does start putting a little bit of a financial barrier in some decks. Android decks are not as good without Chilling Terror Android 17, and you're going to have to go and buy a playset of them, which kind of sucks. A lot of green decks are not as good without Determined Super Saiyan Son Gohan, and like I said, you're dropping $120 on a playset of these. Which leads us to the question I'm really posing in this video. Do we love the fact that you can go and pick up these promos, and then you buy these starter decks, you get good cards. You buy a special pack, you get 4 good cards. You buy a draft box, you might get 4 of a really good leader. Or are we slightly annoyed by the fact that we are having a slight financial barrier put in place by some of these promo cards popping out? Or am I being a little bit too greedy, wanting to go and make 3 or 4 really good decks the moment I get into the game? And I don't propose to sit here and give you an answer. I love the fact that the promo cards are good, and that when we buy these promotional packs, we might get really good cards. That's awesome. But there is a part of me that's a little bit sad that I've got to go and spend almost $70 on a bunch of Chilling Terror Android 17s. And the other thing to note, of course, as we get away from Tournament Pack 2 to Tournament Pack 5, 6, 7, etc., these cards, if they're not reprinted, that only came out in Tournament Pack 2, are just going to get worse and worse in terms of value. What I will say is, it is not as bad as it could be, ladies and gentlemen, because to give you an example from the Pokemon trading card game, Tropical Beach, a card that you got one of when you qualified for the World Championships and was part of some of the best decks in the format, that you would need 4 copies of. Now in Europe we were fine, because if you qualified for Worlds, you would get 6 European languages, any of which we could use. But if you were in America, you got 1 copy, you needed 4, and those cards were up about $100 each. There is nothing in the Dragon Ball card game at the moment that can compete with that. So even though we've got some expensive promos, hey, we've got good promos, and other card games have it a lot worse. This was more of starting a discussion. I like making videos like this, so I thought I would. But as with all of these kind of videos, I want your opinion. Where do you come down on this? Do you love the good promos, or have you had to go and spend a lot of money on getting a playset to make your deck better? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but be nice. Do make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel for more Dragon Ball and video game content in the very near future. And follow me on Twitter at the Wossy and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.